Today we're going to talk about Oklahoma high school recruits and whether or not they're being slept on. And all that's coming up after the bumper.
What do you mean you don't subscribe to my son's YouTube channel?
Mama, no!
Just snap the damn ball, RJ.
What's up, kid folk? It's RJ Young. I am not on a step mill. Consider hitting the like and subscribe button because I upload a video every single day. It's always OU related, college football related, sports related. We have a good time. And today we're going to talk about whether or not Oklahoma high school football players are being slept on. But first, I want to tell you about Trey's Tulsa, right? Trey's Bar and Grill in Tulsa. Trey's-Tulsa or TreysTulsa.com. Go there, tell them I sent you. I eat there, have the Shiner cheer. Also, shout out to Trey's because they sponsored my radio show, Fight Me with RJ Young, on Sundays, 10 a.m. on the Sports Animal. So, are Oklahoma high school football recruits being slept on? The answer is yes and no. Now, we're talking about this in relation to Oklahoma and even Oklahoma State to a degree. But I want to focus on Oklahoma because this is Oklahoma football channel with the, we look at everything, but this is OU football channel. Point I'm making here is you're looking at a guy like Myles Slusher, you're looking at a guy like Andrew Rame, you're looking at Javian Hester, you're looking at Sevion Morrison. Some of these dudes have offers from Oklahoma. Some of them do not. Now, should every kid from Oklahoma get an offer from Oklahoma? Absolutely not. Because you are recruiting for scheme. You are recruiting for your needs. You are recruiting to fill the depth chart. You're trying to get better at each position in the way that you play that position. However, there are some dudes in Oklahoma that are some ballers, and everybody knows it. Now we're looking at a situation in which you could see the top safety recruit in the state of Oklahoma leave the state once again. For those of you that remember Josh Proctor, 2017, Owasso, he's safety, #1 recruit in the state. He left for Ohio State. Then, 2018, Dax Hill out of Booker T. Washington in Tulsa. He's one of the best prospects in the country, let alone the safety in the country, and let alone the #1 player in the state. He's going to Michigan. Now, you're looking at 2020 cornerback Myles Slusher, who probably projects at safety. He's 6'1" now, believe it or not. And you can look at his 40 time and you can say that it's slow, but also his game film says that he plays at 4'4", 4'5". And yes, I'm sticking to my Ed Reed comp because the kid can absolutely tackle, and he's a ball hawk when the ball is in the air. I think his instincts are more toward the safety. When he plays corner out of the stacked Broken Arrow team, that's got the #1 recruit in the state in Andrew Rame, who's looking at Oklahoma, Notre Dame, and that dude is going to be a monster. Now, there are also other guys for which have some OU offers, or has an OU offer, like Javian Hester, and there's another guy like Sevion Morrison, who had 3,000 yards all-purpose and like 2,700 yards rushing at Tulsa Edison, who's got an offer from seemingly everywhere but Oklahoma. Now, I say seemingly everywhere because he doesn't have an Alabama offer, but you know who does? Myles Slusher. So now you're dealing with our kids from Oklahoma a little bit more chippy when we're talking about the University of Oklahoma and whether or not they want to go there. It would seem that most kids grow up watching OU because OU's on TV all the time and has been basically since Bob Stoops won that national championship in 2000. So we're looking at about 20 years of being prime time television in the state of Oklahoma. And you really are talking about OU and Oklahoma State when you talk about being on TV at all. TU gets on there, but let's not pretend that the University of Tulsa, my alma mater, is on par with the University of Oklahoma, my alma mater. So I'm really trying to say here that every kid isn't necessarily on par with the kid you're trying to recruit nationally. So Myles Slusher might not be the kind of guy that you want to offer if you still think that you could go get a guy like Elias Ricks. Now, I'm using Elias Ricks because I believe he's a hard commit to LSU, and he is a 5-star recruit. He is one of the best safeties in the country. Or you can even look at a guy who's uncommitted like Keely Ringo, who is the top cornerback in the country. And you want to be able to take him if, in fact, you can swing him to Oklahoma. That said, it feels like you should take care of your state. You should take care of your own. Well, it ain't no charity, and we're trying to win a national championship out here, so you want the best players possible. That said, a lot of these dudes are ballers. A lot of them can absolutely play. Dax Hill absolutely could play. You were late offering him. You didn't really go after him the way that a lot of folks in state thought you should, like pitching a tent in his front yard and saying, you're coming to OU. You didn't really go after Josh Proctor like that, who ended up at Ohio State. And Myles Slusher is now flossing with his Alabama offer. So Alabama gets the distinction of offering Myles Slusher out of Broken Arrow before the University of Oklahoma does. It's just not a bad look. Now, nobody's going to care if the defense is absolutely awesome. But if you're the kind of person who says hey, if Myles Slusher wants to hold a grudge, let him. We'll let the kid go. We only want kids that want to be here. You don't get to yell and scream about how bad the defensive backfield has been for the last 5-6 years. You don't get to do that. Outside of Zach Sanchez and Tony Jefferson, you really are reaching to try to find a great defensive back in this university for the last 10 years. Think about that. You're going back to like 2010 when you talk about Tony Jefferson. I mean, we could talk about Zach Sanchez and his 15 INTs and 15 INTs in 3 years, by the way, but we're not talking about who the best defensive back is at Oklahoma being the best player on the team. How long has that been, right? You got to go back a ways before you can get back to Derek Strait, before you can get back to Roy Williams. And you want to be able to look at the kids that are in state and say that those kids can help you. And I believe the Ed Reed comp is me projecting, right? Now, I don't think he's going to be a Hall of Famer. I do think he's going to be a very good college football player, and that's what we're looking at. We want a very good college football player. And the other point to make about all of this is, yeah, maybe you think you can get Myles Slusher late, but in the age of the internet, where offers are posted on Twitter, where you recruit nationally via the internet, via social media, you cannot afford to believe that you can get a kid late. Ty DeArmond is not the regular. It's not the norm. And kids remember how you treat them. Everybody remembers how you treat them because this is all about relationships, and nobody knows that better than Lincoln Riley, who is promoting family as the thing at the forefront of his recruiting efforts. All the kids that commit here, all of the parents that commit here, they all talk about the family aspect of it, and it's really hard to say that you're treating somebody like family if you're late to offering them and you're going, hey, we're not offering you because we don't want to have to reject you if we want to take a 5-star like Keely Ringo. That's the really terrible calculus that is being played here. And we don't know how it's going to end for Myles Slusher, but we've seen how it ends for Dax Hill and Josh Proctor. All right, that's it for me. Deuce.